Hello and welcome back. Today we are gonna watch one of my replays from Operation Narai, which is basically my favorite operation by far. It probably has something to do with the fact that you're playing tier 7, usually the operations are tier 6. But this one is 7 like I said, and there are just a lot of good ships to choose from. And this time I'm playing a ship that was basically made for this operation, which is the Atlanta. And you will see why I make that claim. So this always basically starts with ships coming from the south, and as soon as I get in range, I activate my radar so that I can be ready for when the ship cleared the island. And then I can just start hammering away with my HE. And with IFHE, the Atlanta guns do a good amount of damage for every salvo, and you fire so rapidly that you will be doing damage constantly as long as you have something to shoot at. As a cruiser I could probably have used AP, but I don't even really bother with it since I can do well enough with HE, but there are definite instances in this game where I could have switched but don't, so just a heads up for that. But yeah, I'm having a pretty good start here, taking out 2 ships and are now switching to the Clemson. And, well, 3 ships visible, 3 ships killed. Not a massive amount of damage, but it still really highlights the strength of the rate of fire Atlanta has. Nothing else to shoot at, so I take some damage on the fort. And we see the emerald going down from some Scharnhorst blapping, I assume. Trying to take out the fort. It is better to use AP here, but I figured with some help from the others it should be quick enough. Didn't really get the help I would, so yeah, that was one of the instances where AP would have been better, even if it wasn't against a ship. Focusing the Iron Duke for now, assuming that someone else would take care of the Nicholas, or at least waiting until I get closer. Eventually switch and a 6 kilometer DD against Atlanta. The DD will not last particularly long. I also have some help from the artillery and possibly something else as well. But I get my 4th kill and we're not even 4 minutes into the game. Now obviously this operation has changed a bit because of the CV rework. There is a CV in the game, but it's not actually spawning any planes other than fighters as it gets detected. But since this is Atlanta, even if there were planes, I would have been able to deal with that as well. But to be honest, the lack of planes makes this operation easier. A bad team can still mess it up, simply by not playing the objectives, or dying very unnecessarily. But if you are half competent, it will be fairly easy to get 5 stars on this, as it is right now. Will be interesting to see how it changes once the CVs start working again, but until then you will still have loads of fun playing this operation. Like I said, there are many good ships to choose from in this tier, especially among the premium ones. But nothing really else comes close to Atlanta, in my opinion. We are slowly making our way, escorting the transport ships. If you have played this operation, you know that in the south there will be enemy transport ships that will try to get away. And in the north there will be the enemy CV that is trying to get us away. So it's important that both sides are covered. And for now it looks like we have a Scharnhorst that's going south and on an artillery that is going north. So at this moment in time I can stay here in the middle and try to deal with the ships that we have here. Killing the Emerald, getting my 6th kill, and then switching to the Missouri, which is one of the hardest ships, not because it's hard to do damage, but because the guns can really mess you up. Managed to angle enough to avoid most of the shells, but yeah, don't give too much broadside to the Missouri if you're in Atlanta, because that will not end well. We also see that in the back we have a Leon that is doing something, not entirely sure what. And the Scharnhorst in the south is forced to deal with the Nicholas and the transport ships himself. And so far the artillery is not doing too much, other than waiting for the CV, I guess. Missouri eats some torps from the Scharnhorst, and then eats my torps and goes down. And I have already passed 100,000 damage, even though the majority of the damage will come once you enter the harbor area. Since the artillery is on its own up north, and I don't really trust the randoms here, I decide to go up there and help him out. And I'm hoping that our ships that are still focused on the south side will be able to take out the transport ships. They are very easy to kill, but it still has to be done, and if you focus the wrong ship, one might slip away. Use the radar here to see partly the Dallas here, and trying to get some damage on him, hopefully kill him before I move fully north to help against the CV and its escort ships. Sadly I will not really get the hits I need on the Dallas. He will get away, but at least I will be able to take out some of his HP. The artillery managed to take out DD, but then shortly something will happen over there and he will just stop. I'm not sure if he dropped out or left game or what, but he will be parked against the map border and not do anything. Luckily for me, he's still alive, which means that for some reason the bots will target him. And I will have free range to shoot at the Lexington and the Phoenix here without taking any damage in return. Over in the south, our team managed to take out the transports. De Leon eventually went down south, but he's still sitting very far back. York was also there helping out and now they basically have to try and get into the middle. When shooting at the Lexington, get some really good HE salvos off, but switch to the Phoenix since he could actually hurt me in return, even activating the Hydro since I keep forgetting the range of the Phoenix torps, and don't necessarily want to end up eating any unnecessary damage. Things goes down and I can switch to Lexington again. And we see here that the Algerie is just sitting there, not doing anything. It's not going to torp or shoot or anything, so something happened with him. But since he has been taking the damage, that's just good for me because I don't have to worry about my HP and I can take all the HP from the enemy teams. Here I actually switch to AP for a bit, to deal with Lexington, see if that works. And eventually take him down and get my 9th kill. And I'm up to 181,000 damage, which is a pretty decent amount this far into the game. Like I said before, it's once you get into the harbor area there, you really get the damage numbers increasing. I was turned away, so I have to spend quite a bit of time, turn back and then move into the area. Algerie is still gone and the enemy ships will actually kill him. Since I guess he is spotted by something and they can shoot from their central position. We also see that the York is getting closer to the harbor area and again the Scharnhorst as well. Lyon, that has been hanging around in the back all game, is still some distance away, but at least he's sailing in the right direction this time. Lobbing some shells over the island to see if I can take out the fort. Sadly, I will actually fail doing so. Not quite reach it or not getting quite the hits I expect. And then I just switch to the ships instead and letting someone else take it out. My HP is not that low at the moment, but since I have been saying throughout this game that the damage numbers are in this harbor area, it also means that you will risk eating a lot of damage since there are a lot of ships. So I'm trying to make my way into the lead transport ships that can repair you. And basically my tactic when I'm playing the Atlanta and actually most ship is to try and get in there and sit in the heal area and just spam whatever damage I can. Especially in Atlanta where a battleship or even a cruise with AP can really mess you up. So it's important that I can get continuously healed up. To be fair, I have been fairly lucky with not being the main focus of the enemy ships. There is a tendency that I've seen that the enemy ships will focus the low ships. But it doesn't always seem to be the case, so I'm not entirely sure how it works. But nevertheless, I have been very lucky, and that just means that it's easier for me to do damage. Trying to take care of the Gallant and do so there, getting my 11th kill. And we see now that my damage is ticking over 220,000 damage, and there's still a lot of HP left in the game. With my constant HP spam and the fires, there is it's a good time for Atlanta, let's just say that. And especially here is where I really mean that Atlanta was made for this operation. Because you can, every salvo, if you get a decent enough hit, you will do at least 2000 damage to ships. Queen Elizabeth here, we see that every time I shoot, I do at least 2000 damage. And with this rate of fire, even with no AR, there's so much damage that I can continuously pump out. And while there are other good ships that can do a lot of damage, the rate of fire is just too good, I think. Yeah, you can take a BB and you can do a lot of heavy damage. I tried Sinop and did really well. Might even upload that game later. But yeah, I can try other cruisers like the Belfast. You can try Indianapolis to get those AP hits. But from my experience in this operation, the Atlanta is just stronger. As long as you can stay alive, that is, of course, since you are very squishy. But the other shores, again, we see that I just pump out so much damage that it doesn't really have much of a chance. And the enemy is now down to only one ship. And as soon as that is done, we will have managed to do this with 5 stars. Sadly, I will not actually get the last kill. I will stop at only 13, which is a pretty hilarious number. And we also see that my damage is now crossing 300,000. Now I'm not sure if this ends up being my best damage game on this operation or not, but definitely one of the best. I have, however, seen screenshots from this operation from before the CV nerf, or not nerf, sorry, where did that come from? CV change, where people, well, I've seen one over 400,000 and actually even one above 500,000. And that is pretty amazing. But even so, I think that the result I end up getting this is one of the really high numbers that you can get in this particular operation. It goes down and we win with 5 stars. And a quick look at the result screens as well. First overview, and we see 327,000 damage, which is a really good result. 982 shell hits, not quite 1,000, but annoying close. 13 kills, that's also quite a high number, and a decent amount of XP. Switching over to the team score as well, we see that I have as many kills as the second, third and fourth player have together. And not that many fewer than the complete team has. I also have almost 900 more basic speed than the second best player. So I think it's fair to say that I did pretty well in this particular game. Of course, it helped that Akatsuki died and Algeria just stopped playing, which just enabled me to do a lot more damage. But that is basically what needs to happen to get these numbers or even higher. You need your team to be good enough to survive and take damage and help with the objectives, since you can't do all the objectives by yourself, that's just not possible. But also need to be bad enough to allow you to do a bucket load of damage. So yeah, this was a very good game. Like I said, I'm not sure if it is my best damage game in this operation, but it was definitely the best this time when Operation Narai was available. And like I said, also my favorite operation and one I really enjoy. And I will definitely play it more next time. and see if you can beat my score maybe. Let me know if you do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.